Stalky boy back with another video within your walls, and today we're doing our first tutorial-ish video for Myers. I know some of you want a full guide on Myers, but I want to make sure I have a proper handle on the character, and I also want to make sure behavior is completely done with their changes before I make another guide for the character, since the guides take a bit more time, and my last guide that I worked a while on became outdated in about 6 months. So I'm a little apprehensive this time around. As soon as they're done with their changes, I'll get to work on a big guide though. Subscribe for that. Now then, let me describe what problems I was having with Myers that led to the creation of the build that I'm about to show off. The biggest one was just gen speed. The speed of everything really. Healing, gens, unhooks, everything was just way too fast. Despite me getting downs relatively quickly, it was just never enough. Eventually, I was grinding on my fiance's account for the Rift, and I was limited to what perks I had to run, so I came up with this build that I made this video on, and it proved to be very effective. It heavily rewarded me for playing well and ensured if I did play well that I wouldn't lose, but sometimes gens were still just a bit too fast. I felt it could be just a bit better. I tried more chase perks and formation perks, but eventually I settled on Gift of Pain, and this was the missing puzzle piece that pulled the whole build together and really slowed survivors down a ton. It's been so effective. As of right now, I'm on a 35 win streak, but that number is most likely about 10 matches higher than that. I can only confirm 35 for certainty. This new build in particular works really well with the new Myers. It wouldn't really work with the older Myers, so I guess it works for us in that instance because this is who we're playing with. I have two variants of the build. One is used if there's more than one flashlight in the lobby, since getting hooks is very important with this build. And the other, which I feel is the stronger variant, is for anything else. The stronger variant of this build uses Surge, Play with Your Food, Dying Light, and Gift of Pain. Those are the perks. And for the add-ons, Fragrant Tuft of Hair and Hairbrush. Both of these add-ons are necessary for the stronger variant of the build to give Myers lethality and to pair well with Surge. For the flashlight build, or if you just prefer using the Slaughter Strike, is the same but swapping out Surge for Oppression, or really just any anti-gen perk of your desire. I've just had the most success with Oppression. The add-ons are Hairbrush and J. Myers Memorial. But if you are just running this build without the intention of encountering flashlights, you just want to use the Slaughter Strike, you can swap J. Myers for whatever you desire. Now, the reason why this build works so insanely well with the new Myers is because it heavily incentivizes survivors to not heal, which new Myers is insanely good at capitalizing on. Since Pursuer mode is the strongest of Michael's 3 modes, if survivors decide to not heal against Myers, you'll be roaming around the map without a tear radius with Stalker mode, and additional speed thanks to Play with Your Food, and then activating Pursuer mode and popping out of shadows. It essentially becomes a souped up version of old tier 3. You have a longer lunge, faster vaults, stuns, and pallet breaking speeds. Of course, when they do start the match, there isn't a ton of Dying Light stacks, so they don't really mind healing at first, which is of course still fantastic. Even with 1 stack of Dying Light, everything they do will be decreased by 19% with Gift of Pain. So they're still going to be using up a chunk of time to heal if they decide on that. If they don't decide to heal, it's still great for the shape for reasons just mentioned. It's a win-win. And once you hook the Obsession with Gift of Pain and all those stacks of Dying Light, well, they're not going to be getting healed for the rest of the match unless some nutty healing perks are on the map. And just like before, if they decide to heal, this is a great thing since Gift of Pain will then slow down the Obsession's healing a bit as well. Once those Dying Light stacks start stacking, things will begin to get incredibly difficult for them in the end. Against great teams, you want to ensure a 3-gen early on, and it will be obscenely difficult for them to get the last few gens done, especially since there will be quite a few hooks at this point. People will be closer to death, and when people are on death hook against the new Myers, he is insanely good at securing those kills thanks to his new base kit Mori. Nothing can save them once you get your hands on a target. Once you get a survivor dead with all your stacks at a 3-gen, the game might as well be yours. The 8% from Surge is going to feel so much worse with the much slower generators, giving you the time to farm stacks off of the Obsession and get faster with Play with Your Food. let's talk about play with your food. It might seem like a weird perk to have on a build with no other obsession perks. What if the obsession decides to hide all match? This build heavily penalizes obsessions that hide all match. If they choose to hide forever, the gens are going to be much slower for everyone else. Their healing is going to be much slower for everyone else, which incentivizes the obsession to go for the unhooks and heal. If you ever notice a heal that's quite fast for the perks you have, you know that the obsession is at the hook. With that knowledge, you can get play with your food stacks, avoid them, whatever it is you want to do with the knowledge of the obsession. But of course, lethality is needed in order to get downs. If the obsession is hiding, which leads to two different ways of getting downs that new Myers is incredibly good at. One is at the beginning of matches, and throughout the match, you want to be using Stalker mode to get injures, breaking some pallets and disengaging. And the other is Hairbrush. Hairbrush has proven to be an insanely good add-on, breaking pallets near instantly. If you do happen to have play with your food stacks, survivors are nearly as good as dead. If not, there's still a good chance you'll get them, but with the pallet update, there is a chance at the beginning of the match they'll be able to make it to another pallet. But of course, once that pallet is gone, it's gone for good. So you want to force down a lot of pallets, and when Evil Incarnate ends, begin stalking again and try to sneak up on someone you injured earlier. When you get a sneaky drop on them, they'll be forced to once again either go down or drop a pallet. If they drop the pallet, you break the pallet. If they have more supplies to work with, you get a decent chunk of stock and attempt to sneak up on another survivor. This cycle of gameplay has proven to be insanely effective for me, and it makes me personally happy as a Myers fan. It heavily incentivizes Myers to continuously be sneaky throughout the match, which was one of my favorite things to do. It just always felt so good to properly sneak up on someone, carefully avoiding line of sight and getting a quick down. So satisfying for me. Especially towards the end of the match when all survivors aren't healing, you consistently are able to sneak up on survivors. It's really fun. Do remember not to dedicate to chase for too long. If a survivor drops a few pallets and still has many to work with, activate Stalker mode, try and get some stock, sneak up on another individuals. Myers is a stealth killer, and it's very important to keep this in mind. When you return to the target, they'll be on the same gen, with the nearest pallet being miles away, so just disengage temporarily and keep them in mind for later. One thing to note, do not be afraid to hook your obsession. It is obscenely important that they feel pressured as well. If they aren't giving you stacks and are just walking around, threaten them, down them, and fully stalk them if that's what they want to do. Then put them on a gift of pain. Let them know if they want to play that way, you will kill them. You can also slug the obsession since everyone else takes longer to pick the obsession up, and heal them thanks to Dying Light. You can pick and choose. I prefer to usually hook them on gift of pain since when unhooked they have to suffer from the decisions of the perk. And that's another reason I like play with your food on this build, since it works as a mini agitation as well, making it easier to get to the gift of pain scourge hooks. The biggest thing with this build is that it has been very consistent. Every other build I've used would have some losses that would have me scratching my head as to what I could have ran for better results or what I could have done to slow them down a bit more. This build allows for the amount of time needed to actually guarantee a victory. If you play well, the match will continue to go well. As mentioned earlier, it was so frustrating to get downs at a very fast, successful rate, but it just wasn't enough. The gens would still get finished, and I simply could not stop them. It also has the highest DC rate out of any build I have ever ran for any character in my entire history of Dead by Daylight. More than Tombstone or anything else. I've had 2 instances in which the gens were so slow I had the prompt to abandon. Let me remind you all that I haven't even been running this build for a week. This build is showing a lot of promise and will most likely be my go-to for a while. I do believe that this is the entirety of the build though. I have a few matches to show the build off. The second match in particular is a great showing of the build working well, but I really hope this helps out a lot of my fellow Boogeyman players. If you found it helpful, please leave a like. Helps me out a lot. Enjoy the carnage. All right, Greenville Square. Squares indeed. Okay. So they probably spawned in main building, so we can use pursuer mode to get close-ish. And we want to turn off our turn radius about now because some of them might be moving up. None of them moved up, but that's still completely fine. We'll briefly check this gen. Yep, okay, get some stock. 2 of them over there. Looks like Sable. Okay, we're 99ing it on purpose, so we're gonna go up here. There we go. Right next to a pain res too. That's a kind of a nice little trick that you can still do with Myers. 99ing still exists. You just have to be aware of your surroundings and stuff, and where survivors most likely will be. Oh, that's a lot of progress. Very fast, but that's okay. I know there's 2 of you here, or there were. I guess the other one left town. No scratches here, so you probably lingered. Yep. I guess she didn't expect me to come from that direction. Maybe her mom called for her. I don't know. No scourges, which is a little unfortunate, but oh well. What you gonna do? No one's come back to that gen. We're probably gonna go to the hook. We're gonna stay in stalker mode just so they feel safe. I knew there was another person over here. Good hiding, though. I had no idea. Hello? Okay. This is very odd. Is she really just giving up? Do you have decisive? This is really weird. I was only planning on recording 2 matches, but maybe I'll do 3 because these guys are a little weird. The build hasn't even started yet and they're already giving... Yeah, okay. Well, this is weird. I guess I just got too much pressure at the start and they said, no way, Sir Jose. Not dealing with that. Yeah, let's just go to Pumpkin Zone. Cool. All right, man. Up you go. Is there a secret offering? No secret offering. Hey, we're getting the dailies done. Nice. I see that bird flying. Yeah, there she is. Nice. Well, that was one of the matches of all time. Hopefully the next one's a bit, we have people that are trying a bit more. Another glorious 4K for the entity. All right, we're on Leary's. This is a very good map for the new Myers, since he's really good at handling pallets, like getting rid of them really quickly, and of course his stalker mode. They most likely spawned over here. Who's the obsession? It is Yunjin. There she is. Perfect. So let's hurry and snag some stacks, and then we're gonna get some easy dying light stacks, some early ones. 2 should be enough to suffice, and then we'll go on a little rampage. Maybe we'll even go for 3 though if she makes it easy for us. Let's take a peek over here. Only about halfway. We should have enough time to grab a third. Unless she made too much distance. No, we should be fine. Okay, 3. And now we go find the other people. We're going to be breaking at least the first pallet pretty fast. Let's see what he does. Great pallet out of the way. My game is having a hard time. That was interesting. And down he goes. I do see a basement. Of course, if there's a... Wait, is there a basement? No, I don't think there is. Oh, perfect. We can check on this gen while we're back here. Which does have progress. We're going to charge her because we have Surge. He's going to drop that. Oh, very unlucky. She got confused too. She thought she was out for the count. Okay, I don't think there was another... There is a Scourge. I don't think we make that, though. They got that. We should have enough time to hurry and go over here. And deposit our 5 coins. If you get the reference, you're goated. What can I say? When we leave this place, we're gonna leave it through Stalker mode. All right, there they are. Hello. I switched to Pursuer, so I have a faster recovery there. I think we get him on this rotation, yeah. That didn't hit somehow. Interesting. Oh, hello. Oh yeah, I never broke this. Stable went to the void. Who are you? Oh, you're Yunjin. I don't know how my character turned into that, but we'll take it. Hi. Alright, we're ready now. Break that. And we know he was healing, so if we get our grubby little hands on him again, we don't have to worry. Nice. Grab another stack. Make this harder for him. You have Dead Hard? Yeah. Okay, go back over here. Get another stack. I'm gonna check this back gen too. That's still regressing very good. Nice. Big surge on all of that. Now we're gonna put her on a pain res. It's gonna be a... well, not pain res. Excuse me. A Scourge, so it's gonna be really hard for her to get healed by anybody else since there's already 2 Dying Light stacks. He healed. That's completely fine. This has progress. Last time I was here, it had none, I'm pretty sure. There's 2 of them. I don't see Ace with them, though. Hello. Nice. I might actually pop it, because I think she wants to blind me. Yep. I was like, why else would you stick around that pallet, you know? Unless you wanted to blind me. Yeah, she's very upset about that. Hairbrush catches a lot of people off guard with that, I've noticed. which is very funny. Oh. Is this an AC poo? I do believe it is. Hi. There's Yunjin. We want to go for Yunjin so that we can grab some stacks, but also stock as well. There you are. We could actually just do this. Get her closer to death. She won't be a gift of pain. I mean, they're all gonna be healing her a little bit slower anyways. Oh, not on this one. Maybe back here. Really? He's not touching. I thought for sure Ace was gonna be on one of these back ones. There you are. Actually, do I don't know if I want to get full stock. They're all injured. I think I just want to roam around without a terror radius for a little bit. Hi. Oh, you're dead too. Ah, that's why she was so hell-bent on getting me what was it, blinded earlier. She makes no noise. Hi. Another stack, slow things down a little bit. See if we can sneak up on the person that was doing this gen. They left. You might go for the hook. Hello. Oh, he's teabagging. How cute. He's upsetty spaghetti. Ooh, very nice. Oh, I was hoping because of the slow vault. All right, we need to back off from him. Get a stack on her. Maybe we break this. There we are. It really sucks that all of them are over there. I think we should set up operation over here anyways, though. That doesn't have a lot of progress. Now that we have a lot of dying light stacks, I think we should just kind of guard this area anyways. Okay, yeah, they've barely touched any of these things. Hi. Have you given up, my friend? I believe she is submitting. Very good. We want to keep Obsession alive for a bit longer. Another thing New Michael is extremely good at is tunneling. Like, he is absurdly good at it because on Death Hook, they have to jump into a locker. And if she does that and switches Obsessions, it's fine. We'll just farm her for play with your food stacks. She might have off the record, though. She doesn't. But you don't have to worry about Decisive Strike. And now 2 people are dead with 2 gens remaining. So even though these guys were definitely more competent than the last group, they were. I don't think that's saying too much. But especially the ace, like, he knows what he's doing, you know? He knew how to do the little loop-the-loop. But then you get to the point where it's really difficult for them to do anything. That's Ace. I do want to kill Ace because he was highly disrespectful. But we're gonna farm Yunjin for stacks first. It's better to chase the Obsession at this point in the match anyways. Because the Obsession doesn't do gen slower. Oh, don't mind my dog. He's very eager about this. We have landscapers outside. He has things to say about them. But yeah, his gens are gonna be pretty slow. What, 6 times 3, 18% slower? So that's basically just Gift of Pain, whether he decides to stay injured or not. That's pretty cool. I think we'll snag 1 more stack and then dip. Because that other gen did have some progress on it. Maybe we'll get the 3rd one. Maybe I'll be a greedy little man. I really want to make sure I get Ace just because he was so rude to me and I hold grudges. So it was that gen over there that had progress. Hi. Just go a little crazy for a second. Let him know I'm displeased with his actions. Of course, if we didn't have a Dying Light, that would definitely be done right now. But because we have Dying Light, we could afford to get our funny stacks. Alright, there's Hatch. Oh, lucky, lucky.
A 3K makes a glorious W for the entity.
The game. This should be interesting. The hard part with the game is well, you know, it's like, oh, we broke a pallet. There are like 5,000 pallets on this map, so even if you break like 1, and unlike other maps, every pallet is safe. Hi. Oh, luckily we found the Obsession first. That is pretty good. Farm her for the power. Interesting, a gen didn't spawn there. Give me more spider perk. Okay. Thank you. As many of these that we can get rid of, we will absolutely take. All right, grab 1 more off of her, and we zoom around and kill somebody. Okay, she fell. Okay, she used life. All right, all right, all right. Let's do it. Nobody there? Nobody there? Could they be in the bathroom? Someone blew that up. Okay. We do have somebody here. Nice. Up you go. And I think we can make that other Gift of Pain. As long as there's not a game door here. Awesome. Sometimes the game really screws you over with the hook stuff. That is quite lovely. That makes me mucho happy. Somebody here. I want to go into the void, but I don't see where the thingies are. Please don't give up. I'm not going to tunnel you. I'm just grabbing spider perk. Nice. Bum, 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 bum. Trevor gave up. Dang it. That is a bit of a common occurrence with this build, I've noticed. People, have just been giving up quite a bit. Usually it's when the build is actually making a little bit more progress. But I've seen people give up all the time versus it, which is usually a sign of a pretty good build. This is actually the first build I've ever made where I've seen people just throw in the towel as much as they do. I've also gotten the prompt to abandon a few times. Despite, you know, all 4 players still being in the match. It's just gens are going that slow. Oh, hello. How are you? You know, this is what I was saying about stalker mode. Being able to just go around in stalker mode at a faster movement speed with so many people injured. It's really scary. Really scary to go up against. Because you have little to no warning. We're getting there. We have enough time to play this dance. Break this one normally. I might save the evil incarnate for a little. This is perfect because she has like nowhere to run really. We have 2 stacks and a longer lunge, so she goes down. Downsy wownsy. Even if the obsession does end up dying, who really cares? We've won. We won. We're still at 5 gens. We may not get Dying Light. We still have Gift of Pain, though. And a person dead at 5 gens. Where are you, little Trevor bot? Where's a void? I want to get my event stuff done. For the points. So hard to find these portal things. Ah, there we go. Thank you. Alley-oop. We can be in pursuer mode here. Hi. How are you today? Probably not very well. I think most people that go up against this aren't very pleased with it. Alley-oop. Oh, he's still injured. They were like, heal the bot? I'd rather die. Speaking of wanting to just die. I don't get it. She's like, oh, I want to die. But then she's like, no, I'll try. I'll live. Make up your mind, lady. I've had that. That's another thing. I've had so many people think that they can just rush me with decisive strike when they're on death hook, not knowing that Myers has a base kit Mori now. That base kit Mori has come in so much handy. It's so nice. I imagine this girl is not doing anything. Like, why would you? What is the point? Oh, hi. Bots do not kill themselves, unfortunately for you. They could care less whether you live or die. Voice crack. Don't you point at me. Have you no manners? Have you no shame? But yeah, this has been the build. This team wasn't amazing. I think last team was much better, but this build has been very consistent. You saw last match what to kind of do against better teams. You construct a 3-gen, all that jazz. Pretty cool. Brain, not one gen while I'm running. But yeah, that's the build. I hope you have a good time with it. I know I've been having a great time with it. Take care, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Farewell. Oh wait, I almost forgot.
Another glorious 4K for the entity.